Now we come to verse number 4.3. Very, very big words. So you say, okay, we recognize that the universe is nothing but a dream made out of the dreamer's mind, projected externally. Yeah? But that was my dreaming state. How can I say the same thing about the waking state? So the scripture tells you, you do not have to believe this blindly. You will experience this, but you will not experience this to begin with. So the first thing has to be put as something to be experienced later in the parking lot. Yeah. So this point, that is why I do not say, do you see it in your direct experience here? Because it is right now in the parking lot, and I do not want any of you to make theories and make assumptions that I experience it. Yeah. So this is when Nisargadatta Maharaj is already there, and he keeps saying that my world is full of me. So it is very possible for somebody to get there. One day I might get there, but right now I keep this very clearly in the parking lot. I do not fool myself. Yeah. And it's just one sentence, nothing more. In the deep sleep state, there is no world, there is no I, the pure consciousness is at rest. Yeah. It is just resting. The pure consciousness is just relaxed. It is like nothing. Yeah? Pure consciousness is like nothing. The previous picture had stars, so I removed even the stars. Even those are not there. There is no space. There is no creation. Pure consciousness is at rest. It's that deep sleep state of the pure consciousness. This is some story that all of us heard. It doesn't matter from which religious background you have come, but you have all heard this story. That God was all alone. This is God. No thingness, absence of things, absence of creation. Yeah? Absolute silence, no thingness. And then God got bored. God said, I need someone to play hide and seek with me. So he says, now let me create another God that pretends to be not God. Yeah? And all he did was he created or he drew a circle. Imagine drawing a circle in space, that's all. And he gave it the power of pretending to be not God. But now God does his work very well, so he forgot completely that he is God. Yes. He completely forgot that he is God. And that's what we all are. Now his job is to find God, to find himself. This is pure consciousness story that you have all heard. These are not just stories. It is very experiential to recognize this as you proceed on this path, that I, the awareness, I, the pure consciousness, willingly, voluntarily stepped out of my infiniteness and created a finite just to play, just to have fun, because we do not have any proper explanation for this, and we just term it as the Maya. So it starts playing with this form. Yeah? This is not God. If you recognize, it is a circle that obviously starts receding and wipes away and finally becomes God in the end. Yeah? Is that circle different from the rest of the space? Just because it has certain amount of space enclosed in it, does it become a personal, individualized consciousness separate from the rest of the infinite consciousness? It cannot. Yeah. That circle was only a name and form, nothing else. And it has a certain function, playing with God. That's all. That name and form is anyway going to dissolve. It dissolves in some time. It doesn't exist for too long. Yeah? For God, it is drawing a line on water. And it is completely going to dissolve and unite back with that infinite consciousness. That is who we are. This pure consciousness willingly, voluntarily forgets itself, steps into imagination and creates form. And this is the dream world. It is called the waking dream by Ashtavakra. He calls it Jagrat Swapna. So, I am the waking dream character in this waking dream world. The waking dream character and the waking dream world appear together simultaneously at the same time, not before and not after. Yes. You get glimpses of this every morning. This projection happens simultaneously. I, the waking dream character, am still lying on bed, my eyes open, and the world comes into appearance. I, the dream character, and the waking dream appear or arise simultaneously. I am not somebody else's dream. Do you understand this? Can I dream for you? I cannot dream for you. Yes, I can only dream for myself. So when I, the waking dream character, arise along with the waking dream world, whose dream is it? It is I, the pure consciousness, dreaming the waking dream character that arises in this waking dream world. Yeah. Now again draw a parallel with your dreams. When I, the waking character, waker, let's call it waker, I notice objects in this waking world. Do I recognize them as real objects or unreal? I say, no, it is real. Object of sight, this computer is real. If I'm eating food, the taste is real. The touch of the food is real. Or the smell of the food is real. Oh, it is all real. The sound of people around me, everything is real. And then you somehow attend an Advaita class and everything changes for you. You realize, oh, I did the experiment of sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, and I recognized I could only find awareness. I could not find the object. So this is where your homework number 2 comes up. Again and again, moment to moment, I have to start drawing a parallel between this waking world and my dream world. I have to do a thorough self-study. Then only can I progress on this path. I don't have to take any concepts and believe them, because belief is nothing but another conditioning. That is not the point of this session. Yes, no blind belief. If you don't experiment, you will lose out. That's simple. So you have to experiment, not take this as somebody's word that I have to follow blindly. I have to experiment. Yeah. So again and again I experiment. Neuroscientists also confirmed that, this is only electromagnetic radiation, and they did not experiment in your dream world, they experimented in your waking world. Yes? So they said that everything is just electromagnetic radiation. There is no universe of objects and people, shapes, sounds, colors. No. We create our own reality by projecting our mind. So we are projecting, and then we are perceiving our own projection, and then we are reacting to that which we have perceived, and then all the drama is created, and then we say we are suffering. How hilarious is that? So you have to start recognizing this. What am I seeing? Yeah. Is seeing, perceiving only seeing? Yeah. Is seeing happening outside, or is it happening inside the mind, like the scientist said? And if it is happening inside, how is it happening? I'm creating an image in my mind. Thoughts are nothing but images, and I am projecting that image out, and I'm calling that seeing. I'm only perceiving myself when I say I am seeing. This proves that knowledge of seeing the computer, seeing Ekta on the computer, does not prove the computer's existence or Ekta's existence. The knowledge of a thing does not show the thing's nature. It only shows knowledge. So, knowledge knows knowledge. Consciousness knows consciousness. Same experiment you do with hearing. Your child will call you, your husband will speak to you, your wife will say something, your parents will speak something, a phone call is received. How am I projecting this? How is this happening? Is there really sound there? The scientists say there are no real objects or sound in the waking dream. So what is it? Hearing is perceiving only hearing. We realize that the waking dream character is hearing only awareness. Remember, in our experiments, we could not find the sound, we could not find the sense of hearing, we could not find the hearer. There was only awareness, only witness consciousness. So experiment again and again and again. And prove it to yourself. I only perceive myself. I only hear myself. Consciousness is knowing consciousness, because there is nothing outside of consciousness. Similarly, do your experiments on taste, on touch, on smell. Touching is only perceiving touching. Touching is not perceiving an object. It is an image that is projected out. You have to start recognizing this in your direct experience. I'm not telling you to take it as a concept. Yeah? Start recognizing it. There is only consciousness actually. And you will see it very easily. We had done one experiment in the initial Advaita classes where we said, look outside the window and then look at the buildings and look at the trees and then look at the mountains beyond and look at the sky. What do you see beyond the sky? Beyond the sky, I just see myself. Yeah. Now come back to the sky. Now come back to the trees, to the mountains, to the hills. Now come back to the buildings. Now come back to this window and come back to the room. Oh, everything is in awareness. There is nothing outside of awareness or consciousness. Nothing can be outside my witnessing consciousness. So again and again and again, recognize this. I cannot recognize the pure consciousness willingly stepping into the dream. But I, as the waking dream character, can sense the absence of real objects. I can recognize that I, the dream character, and the so-called object that I'm calling an object are both nothing but awareness. Whose awareness? Where is this awareness? It's nothing but pure consciousness. Remember, the mind and the intellect can go only till a particular level. Yes? At a particular level, the mind cannot turn back and look at the witness consciousness. Because it is the witness consciousness itself that has become the dream character and the dream world, no? Now that only witness consciousness can recognize itself. The mind's journey ends at experiments. And the mind gives up thinking. When you give up thinking, give up intellectualization and just being. Can I just be in this and recognize by being instead of trying to understand intellectually? Instead of trying to prove it intellectually. This is where the shift has to happen. Yeah? And this is where you just be. And when you be, you recognize, oh, I can just be the awareness. I can just be the pure consciousness because it is devoid of objects. Something that is devoid of objects cannot be perceived by logic and intellectualization. So this is where I have to drop experimenting and just be now. Because now I have already found that I am the awareness. In touching, in tasting, in smelling, in hearing, in seeing, there is just awareness. Now, I drop the objects of touch, taste, smell, sight, sound and be in awareness because I found my trail back to the awareness. Now there is no point going back to the relative world when I found the absolute. Now I stay here, I remain as the pure consciousness and just by being I will understand myself. It's not the mind that will understand. This is the stage where the mind ends. Just the being begins. So just be. Just be. And every time the mind comes up with questioning, you write down a few questions for inquiry that I already gave you. It's a separate world of people, situations, things made of matter being experienced. You question your mind. Really look, can you prove it that this object exists? Only this repetitive self-inquiry will make the mind give up its unnecessary feverish search of trying to look for putting the pure consciousness in words, and then you can just rest and then taste the deliciousness of pure consciousness. So what questions you can ask it? Is a separate world of people, situations, things made of matter being experienced by the dreamer? Who's the dreamer? She's sleeping. She's the dreamer, and the one on the swing up there is the dreamed character. This is a waking dream, says Ashtavakra. Jagrat Swapna. What is happening in this waking dream? This dreamed character is now on the Advaita path and is now making an effort to see the dreamer. Is it possible? No. Yeah? So, this is where the mind has to give up. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Because it's not possible for the dreamed character to see the dreamer lying in bed and sleeping and dreaming this. The dreamed character has still been given that recognition of what it is. Yeah? So I told you this dreamed character is nothing but that circle. Yeah? God created an imaginary container. Inside that container is God only. We are just pretending to be not God. We are pretending to be not pure consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is where you have to become very clear that the dreamer's mind cannot be perceived by the dream character. But the dream character can just rest from the dream and sense the dreamer's mind. And when it senses the dreamer's mind, it recognizes there are no real objects, there is just awareness. Yeah? So there is no separate world of people, situations, things made of matter being experienced by the dreamer, nor the dreamed. Dreamed means the dreamed character, dreamer means the dreamer's mind. Second question that you can ask yourself, is it the dreamer's mind that is being experienced? We'll say, in the beginning, the dreamer does not experience that it is his mind. He feels real, he becomes the character, no? So in the beginning, no. After waking up, the dreamer knows, yes, it was all my mind. Same thing will happen at enlightenment. Oh, it was all my mind. It wasn't real. Yeah. For the dreamed character, is it the dreamer's mind that is being experienced? Yes. It is the dreamer's mind. Does there exist a duality between the dreamed character and the dreamed world? If you look at it from the point of view of the dreamer, No, they are both the dream. The dreamed character and the dream world are both the dream, a part of the dream. It is the same thing. Yeah, for pure consciousness, it is just pure consciousness. It is nothing else but pure consciousness. For the dreamed character, the one on the swing, for the dreamed character, does there exist a duality between the dreamed character and the dream world? Yes. The dreamed character says, yes, I am the one swinging over this entire world. So there is a duality. But in reality, is there a duality? No, there is no duality. It is all but one dreamer's mind. It is all but one pure consciousness. Now, does this projection appear real to the dreamer? Dreamer is the one sleeping. Does it appear real to her? Does it appear real to you in the night? Yes. If you're very joyous, you're very happy, you're experiencing that, you feel it is real. Say, yes, it is appearing real to the dreamer. Only when the dreamer is in the dream state. When you wake up, what do you say? No, it wasn't real. Yeah, but when you are in the dream state, you're saying, yes, this is real. Yeah. What about the dreamed character? Does the projection appear real? Does Ekta appear real to you right now? Yes. Oh, she's very real. Yeah. It appears real to the dreamed character, but actually it is not real. In reality, it is not real. Yeah. It is nothing but the dreamer's mind. The dreamer wakes up and says, that bakwas, simple dream, not to be taken seriously. It was not real. Very clear? Now, is this dreamer who is sleeping independent of this dreamed character? The dreamer is independent. She is not dependent on this dreamed character. Correct? Yes. Whenever she wants, she can stop dreaming, get up, go, have a cup of coffee. This person is gone. No swing, no sky, nothing. So the dreamer is not dependent on the dreamed character. Is the dreamed character dependent on the dreamer? Yes, 100%. Can the dream character exist apart from the dreamer? Not possible. Completely dependent. Cannot exist without the dreamer. Can I exist apart from pure consciousness or awareness? I cannot. Can this world exist apart from pure consciousness or pure awareness? It cannot. There is nothing outside of pure consciousness or pure awareness. Is this very clear? When one is awake, is the other awake? Let's just take one question at a time. This dreamer wakes up. Does the dream character exist anymore? No, it's gone. So when the dreamer is awake, means he's not the dreamer anymore. The dream character is gone. He's not awake. Now look at the other way. When the dreamed character is awake, is the dreamer awake? Dreamer is Dreaming, not awake. So whenever the mind comes up with questions, with battles, these are the questions for inquiry that you put out to the mind. Ask it to prove the existence. Prove the existence of your own son, your daughter, your spouse, your parent, your boss, your colleague, that person that is giving you that tremendous grief in life. Prove it. Where is this person? Isn't he or she just a mere projection? And isn't it true in 100% of the times that in every turbulent situation there was a part of you that was unconcerned, untouched? To get all the turbulent situations in life, however turbulent they were, there was one part of you that did not care for it, did not get touched by the suffering. So again and again recognize, I am that pure consciousness, that pure awareness that is always untouched. It is always the mind, that circle that has been created, that has assumed it is not consciousness, that is pretending to be not consciousness. That creates the drama. It is just the mind. We've given that circle a name, body and mind. Just a label. By building 4 walls and blocking in this space, does the space become personal space? It does not. Similarly, the container called body-mind cannot contain the awareness or lock in awareness and call it personal awareness or separate awareness or separate self. Not possible. So wake your mind up every time it goes to sleep, every time it gets lost in this projection. Prove it to yourself. See, this projection is also projected by me. And I am only perceiving the projection and crying. This needs a lot of research, self-research. So this entire week needs to be dedicated to self-research. Don't do anything else other than understanding how am I projecting and then perceiving what I'm projecting and then creating drama, reacting to that same perception, creating the drama in my own life, and that is my suffering. And in this whole drama, there is one little part of me that is untouched by this drama, this projection, that perception. One part of me that is not projecting and is not perceiving. It is just witnessing everything. And it is unconcerned also. And can I recognize that and understand that is my truth, not this continuous projection. Yes, when you understand that experientially, then only you can move to chapter 5. These chapters are one building, the second builds on the first. If your first foundation is weak, your building is going to fall. And then you're all confused and you're wondering, why am I not getting it and why everybody's getting it? Because your foundation is weak. You have not done proper research. You have not understood. You have not explored. So entire week give to exploring this and understanding, oh, I am only projecting and then I am only perceiving it and then I am only reacting to it. And this was told to us very nicely in a story in Yoga Vashishta, those who did Yoga Vashishta. Of that man who beats himself up and cries and then starts trying to run away from himself, saying that I am being beaten. These are all stories to tell you exactly this.